بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Another quality that every Muslim should try to have is truthfulness. Yesterday when we were talking about taqwa, we analyzed taqwa and said the root of taqwa, the basis of taqwa is commitment to the truth. So today now we want to talk about this truthfulness as a very important quality. We have many hadiths about truthfulness with respect to a speech, Sadqul Hadith, but we have also truthfulness as a quality of person. Even in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions people who are sadiq. Ittaqullah wa kunu ma'as sadiqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, have piety and be with the people who are truthful. Chapter 9, verse 119. Chapter 9, verse 119. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullah wa kunu ma'as sadiqeen. So who is Sadiq? Sadiq is the one who has been telling the truth, has been committed to the truth, to the extent that he now as a person is a truthful person. Okay? So it means that truth has penetrated into his heart and become a permanent quality. And we also have in the Quran Siddiq. Siddiq is very high quality. Allah mentioned in the Quran Siddiqeen as one of the 4 highest group of people. من يطع الله والرسول فأولئك مع الذين أنعم الله عليهم in Surah Al-Imran. Those who obey Allah and the Prophet are with the people that Allah has bestowed His ni'mah upon them. Yeah? An'am, in the Surah Hamza, Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim. Here Allah defines who are an'amta alayhim. Man yuti'illaha wa rasul fa'ulaika ma'alladina an'ama Allahu alayhim. If you obey Allah and the Prophet, you would be with the people that Allah has bestowed His blessing upon them. You may not be one of them, but you will be with them. فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Who are those people? 4 groups. Nabiyyin, prophets. Shuhada, witnesses. Witness is a very important Quranic concept. Siddiqeen, Salihin. There's possibility that they can overlap. For example, prophets at the same time are Siddiq, at the same time are Salih. So, Nabiyyin, Shuhada, Siddiqeen, Salihin. Then Allah says, وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. These are very good companions. So, when you want to travel towards Allah, you want the right path. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. How can you find the right path? You should find the people that are already ahead of you on the same path. These are الذين أنعمت عليهم. These are Nabiyyin, Shuhada, Siddiqeen, Salihin. So when you see them, you can join them. Like, when you go to Hajj, you try to find people who know, who are your guide, your dalil, you follow them. So there are people that can be our guide in Sirat al-Mustaqim. So Siddiqeen are one of the highest group of people. Who are Siddiqun? Who are the people who are in that quality. Allah says, for example, Ibrahim was Siddiq. Kana Siddiqan Nabiya. Allah says, Lady Maryam was Siddiqa. Wa ummuhu Siddiqa. Kana ya'kulan al-ta'am. Maryam is Siddiqa. Prophet Ibrahim was Siddiq. Lady Fatima is Siddiqa. Means someone that is 100% committed to the truth, committed to haqq. Not only in his words, not only in his promises, in his intentions, in his actions. You don't see anything other than truth. You don't see anything other than honesty. So it starts with saying and telling truth, but then it becomes your quality, your character. Let me read for you some hadith about truthfulness. Again, the late Sheikh Kulayni has a chapter called Babu Sidq wa Ada'ul Amana. This is in Kafi, volume 2, starting with page 104. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, Inna Allah Azza wa Jal lam yab'ath nabiyyan. Allah has not sent any prophet, any messenger, illa bisidq al-hadith wa ada' al-amana ila al-barr wal-fajr. So it means that this is a common teaching in all religions, all prophets, to tell the truth and to deliver the trust, whether the one who has entrusted you is a good person or bad person. It doesn't make difference. Even if a criminal entrusts you, he says, please take this money for, and I want this money when I come back. You should keep it for him. Even, we have hadith that Imam Zain al-Abidin is mentioned that if the sword by which my father was killed is entrusted to me, I will give it back. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was keeping the trust of pagans of Mecca even after Islam. So as you know, for 13 years still they used to entrust with him their things, and he used to keep for them. He was not saying I don't accept, or he was not saying okay, I take from them and don't give it back. Even when he was going to Medina and leaving Mecca in those very difficult days, still he was worried about the trust of people. So told Imam Ali, give this trust back to people and then join me. Okay? So this shows that delivering trust is not only to the people that are good. Inshallah, we have this when we talk about social qualities, because this is very important, social quality. So, all the prophets were asked by Allah to stress on sidq al-hadith wa ada' al-amana ila al-barr wal-fajr. This is why you see that today, in every corner of the world, every part of the world, people appreciate these qualities. Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, atheists. You don't find anyone who says it's bad to tell the truth or it's bad to be trustworthy. Maybe people practice or don't practice, but at least they appreciate this. So perhaps one reason for this was that all the messengers, all 124,000 prophets, have stressed on these qualities. There is a hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam which is very striking, very moving. We have another hadith like this, I mentioned later. When you want to see whether a person is good or bad, this is the hadith that I have mentioned in the series Indicators of Piety that yesterday I said. When you want to judge about the person, whether he's a good person or bad person, okay? For example, you want to give job to a person, you want to marry someone, you want to give your daughter to someone. You want to make sure that it's a good moment. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, لا تغتروا بصلاتهم ولا بالصيام. Don't be deceived by seeing that they fast and they say their prayer. It's important to be praying and to be fasting. It means that if someone doesn't say prayer, doesn't fast, okay. So you know that he's not mu'min. Okay? But even if he says and prayer and fast, doesn't mean that he is mu'min. Do you understand? So, you can filter people by seeing whether they say prayer and fast or not. But this filter is one filter. Some people may still pass this filter and cross this filter, although they are not mu'min. Okay? So it can help you with respect to some percentage of people to be left out. But still, you have not, you shouldn't be deceived. لا تغتروا. غرور means to be deceived. لا تغتروا بصلاتهم ولا بصيامهم. Why? فإن الرجل ربما لهج بالصلاة والصوم حتى لو تركه استوحش. Sometimes they have so much said salat and fasted, it has become a habit. If they don't do it, they feel bad. Okay, so it's a habit. They don't do this out of commitment, out of understanding. So, how should then we test them? If we cannot test them with this, so what is the test? وَلَكِنْ اخْتَبِرُوهُمْ عِنْدَ صِدْقِ الْحَدِيثِ وَأَدَاءِ الْأَمَانِ. But test them, try them, examine them when you have a situation in which you can see whether they have this quality of being truthful or not. Sidq al-hadith. Do they tell the truth? وَأَدَاءِ الْأَمَانَةِ. Do they deliver the trust back to the person who has given them this trust? So trustworthiness and truthfulness, these two are very important. Maybe you say, what about these two becoming a habit? Maybe this is also a habit. The answer is that these two may become a habit, may become a permanent quality, but they always come with commitment. You cannot be a dishonest person and in all circumstances tell the truth. You cannot be a dishonest person and in all circumstances deliver the trust. So these are the qualities that always show commitment. It's not like performance of some actions. Do you understand? There is another hadith similar to this, which says, لا تنظروا إلى طول ركوع الرجل والسجود. We are recommended to prolong our ruku and sujood. It's very good to have longer sajda, especially when you are alone. For your nawafil or in the outside salat, do sajda, long sajda. It's very good. But when you want to judge about people, لا تنظروا إلى طول الركوع الرجل والسجود. Say, okay, because mashallah he's going to ruku for 5 minutes, sujood 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so he's a very good person. No. فإن ذلك شيء اعتاده. This is something that is used to it. فلو تركه استوحش لذلك. Again, if he stops doing this, he feels bad. ولكن انظروا إلى صدق حديثه وأداء أمانته. But look at his truthfulness and trustworthiness. There are people who fast, but just as a habit. And then when you tell them, you are musafir, you are traveler, you shouldn't fast. He says, no, I must fast. You are ill and fasting is harmful. You must not fast. He says, no, I must fast. And the poor person thinks that this is a sign of Iman, but this is not a sign of Iman. This is a sign of having problem in Iman. Because if you are mu'min, when Allah says you must not fast, you don't fast. It's like a person who was thirsty, he said, give me water. Okay? Now he's not thirsty, but you want to put water in his mouth. So I am not thirsty, I don't want water. Allah sometimes says, I don't want fast from you. So no, you must accept this. So this is the problem. And when you see, then there is a bigger problem here. When you see a person who is not supposed to fast, he fasts, what do you realize? You realize that even when he was supposed to fast and he was fasting, it was not for the sake of Allah. Because if it was for the sake of Allah, then he should stop. So it means that even that was not for the sake of Allah. So not only now he has problem, even when he has to fast and he fasts, still you are unsure. Maybe it's just doing this as a habit. So it's a big problem here. I don't know if in any religion you find so much emphasis on sidqul hadith wa ada'ul amana, truthfulness and trustworthiness. There are many hadiths here, I just mentioned some of them. In another hadith, a person says, I told Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Abdullah ibn Abi Ya'fur yuqra'uka as-salam. Abdullah ibn Abi Ya'fur is a companion of Imam Sadiq, is a very special, one of the good ones. He said, I told Imam, he sent salam. When someone says, so and so send you salam, what do you say? Imam said, alayka wa alayhi salam. Salam be to you and also to him. إذا أتيت عبد الله, when you meet Abdullah ibn Abi Ya'fur, فأقرئه السلام, send my salam to him, وقل له, tell him, إن جعفر بن محمد يقول لك, tell him, Imam Sadiq is telling you this message. But Imam doesn't say tell him Imam Sadiq, he says Ja'far ibn Muhammad, but tell him that I am sending you this message. What is the message? انظر ما بلغ به علي عند رسول الله فالزمه. Look what Ali had that made him able to reach that position he had with Rasulullah. What Ali achieved with Rasulullah. Try to have the same. إنما بلغ ما بلغ به عند رسول الله. Ali reached what he reached because of what? بالصدق الحديث وأداء الأمانة. Why Rasulullah loved Ali so much? Ali had many good qualities, but Imam Sadiq mentions two qualities, highlights two qualities. بالصدق الحديث وأداء الأمانة. So the Shia of Ali, followers of Ahlul Bayt, they should have among their qualities, but these two definitely must be there, Sadqul Hadith wa Ada'ul Aman, at the top. Imam Baqir alayhi salam said, Ya Rabi' ibn Sa'd was told by Imam Baqir, Ya Rabi' or Rabi' inna ar-rajul la yasduq hatta yaktabahu Allahu siddiqa. You tell truth and this continues till Allah registers you as Siddiq. So the beginning is to tell the truth, this becomes permanent quality, you become Siddiq. In another hadith, Imam Baqir alayhi salam told Abdullah ibn Abi Ya'fur, the same person that we were Imam sent him salam. He says, Imam Sadiq said, كونوا دعاة للناس بالخير. This famous hadith. Try to call people, invite people, do da'wah بالخير, towards good, بغير ألسنتكم, without using your tongue. How can you invite people towards good without using your tongue? By being good in your character. لَيَرَوْا مِنْكُمْ, people should see in you these qualities. This is the best tabligh, the best da'wah is what? Is people find in us these qualities. لَيَرَوْا مِنْكُمْ, they should see from you al-ijtihad. Ijtihad means working hard, making efforts. Okay, ijtihad means working hard. So people should see that we are hard-working people. Was-sidq, truthfulness. Wal-wara', piety. If we have these qualities, everyone would love to become a member of this community. You know, sometimes I say, if we had no quality except, for example, truthfulness, trustworthiness. For example, people say, if you want to do business, do with Muslims. Why? Because they always tell the truth. They are always committed to the truth. If you want to give, for example, project, if you want to get advice, if you want consultation, everything, be 100% sure that Muslims are honest and truthful. Do you think we would then need any tabligh? We need to invest on tabligh? No. This is the best tabligh for us. Respect comes to us, money comes to us, everything comes to us. People love trustworthy people, truthful people. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, Man sadaqa lisanuh, dhaka amaluh. The one whose tongue is honest, is truthful, his action becomes pure. It's very beautiful. So, truthfulness of the tongue filters your actions. Your action becomes clean, becomes pure. This concept is mentioned in another way in some hadith, that all the bad things are locked in a room and the key to that room is lying. If you put all the bad things in one room and lock it, how can get into that room which has lots of bad things? By telling lie. So it means that telling lie is leading to all other bad things.
It can be the opposite as well, vice versa. All the good things, if you do good.
So, sidq is leading to the good things, yeah, and lying is leading to the bad things. You know the story of that person that had lots of bad habits and asked Rasulullah for advice, you know, and he wanted, you know, just one thing.
Yes.
And Rasulullah said, don't tell lies.
He was drinking, you know.
Yeah, drinking and other things. Rasulullah said, don't tell lies. So he thought it's very easy. I cannot stop other things, but this is easy. But when he left Rasulullah, whatever he wanted to do, for example, he wanted to drink wine, if he wanted to fight, then he was telling himself, but then if Rasulullah asked me, have you done this? I cannot say I have done it, and I can also not tell him lies, so I should not do this. So he stopped doing all the bad things, just because of wanting not to tell lies. In other words, sometimes when I speak with the youths, I say this to them. I say, try to do things that you would be able to tell truthfully to people that you have done them. Okay? If you only consider this point, should I go to this place? Should I meet that person? Should I spend my money here? Should I do this? Should I do that? Okay, one criterion. Do the things that later you are not embarrassed to say that I have done this. If you meet your parents, if you meet, I don't know, Lady Fatima, if you meet Imam Hussein, you don't feel embarrassed to say I have done this. So, you see, automatically telling truth filters bad actions. So, man sadaqa lisanuh zaka amaluh. His action becomes pure. وَمَنْ حَسُنَتْ نِيَّتُهُ زِيدَ فِي رِزْقِهِ. It's very beautiful. Maybe you were never thinking like this. When your intention is good, your rizq is increased. Always have good intention. Always wish good and want good for yourself, for other people, even more than what you can do. وَمَنْ حَسُنَ بِرُّهُ بِأَهْلِ بَيْتِهِ. The one who is kind with respect to his family, his wife, husband, children, I don't know, uncles, cousins, aunt. مُدَّ لَهُ فِي عُمُرِهِ. His life or her life will be extended. Saliyya rahim, kindness to the family, increases the life of the person. And we have many other things, but to save time, I just mentioned this amount. So, truthfulness is a very important quality of a mu'min. Honesty is a very important quality of a mu'min. Even, hadith says that mu'min may do some bad things, but a mu'min never tells lies. You can see a mu'min sometimes, fails, for example, to pray, fails to fast, or maybe, does some bad things. But when it comes to telling lie, no. Because, in Farsi we have this, we say, Durugu doshman khodast. We say, liar is enemy of God. Because this is really a sign of Iman, that you are telling the truth, and a sign of kufr is to tell lies. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when appointed Mu'adh ibn Jabal as governor of Yemen, he told him, I command you to fear God, tell the truth, and keep your promise. Among the advices that Rasulullah said, these were the very important ones. Tell the truth and keep your promise. Another quality which is very important is being moderate and balanced. A mu'min should be balanced. Also, a faithful community should be balanced. In the lectures we had last Muharram, we said that one of the characteristics of the community of Ahlul Bayt is that they are balanced. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Community must be balanced, also every person should be balanced. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this world in balance, and He wants us to observe the balance. Balance with respect to dunya, with respect to akhirah, with respect to personal life, social life. Everything should be balanced. How much we spend money should be balanced. How much we eat, how much we drink, how much we sleep, how much we talk, how much we go for ziyarah, how much we go for hajj, how much we spend on charity. Everything should be balanced. Even Allah says, for example, for charity, don't give everything that you have. La tabsutha kullal bast. It's not good that I give everything, then my family has nothing to eat. And also it's not good to not give. لا تجعل يدك مغلولة إلى عنقك ولا تبسطها كل البسط. Don't tie your hand, to your neck so that you don't give anything, and also don't, stretch it too much so that you become bankrupt. Balance is important. How many hours I should work? How many hours I should worship? How many hours I should, entertain myself? Everything should find the balance. So this is very important. On the other hand, Imam Ali alayhi salam says the people who are ignorant, always they lose the balance, they miss the balance, they go to extreme. Jahil, the one who is ignorant, the one who is unwise, is always mufrat or mufarrat. Either is doing too much or too little. Mu'min is balanced. It's not easy. It needs knowledge, it needs guidance, it needs asking wise people, experienced people. Sometimes as a young person, even as an old person, you don't know what is the balance. You have to ask. Another thing is patience. Patience is also a very important quality. Very, very important. Yesterday I was speaking somewhere and I said patience and gratefulness, if they are mixed, then this is a ma'joon, this is a combination that definitely make you successful. If you are patient and grateful, you appreciate what you have and you are persistent, you will become definitely successful. We have many hadiths about patience. We have many verses of the Quran about patience. For example, hadith says, "As-sabru min al-iman bimanzilat al-ra's min al-jasad." Patience for iman is like body with head. If body has head, it's okay. But imagine if body is all right, legs, hands, kidneys, heart, liver, everything is all right. It doesn't have head. It cannot survive. Mu'min cannot survive without sabr. Sabr is such an important thing. Of course, there are three types of sabr. As-sabru ala ta'ah, patience with respect to doing wajibat. Doing wajibat, it's not easy, especially at the beginning. You need to be patient. To wake up early morning for Salatul Fajr is not easy. To fast long days, it's not easy. To have hijab all the time, when you go out, sometimes it's difficult. To observe, tahara, najasa, halal, haram, food, all these things, sometimes it's difficult. But you have to have patience, you have to have sabr. The second is as-sabru an al-ma'siyah. So, as-sabr ala ta'ah is first, as-sabru an al-ma'siyah. Means you are patient with respect to haram. What does it mean? It means you are patient so that you don't commit haram. Because resistance against haram sometimes is difficult. In the same way that doing wajib is sometimes difficult, resistance against haram, because sometimes haram has pressure, has attraction. Okay? Everyone is doing this. Everyone, for example, is in your university, I don't know, in your work, everyone is without hijab. So there's attraction, pressure in being without hijab. Or for example, everyone is, I don't know, listening to, I don't know, haram music, going to haram majalis, going to pub, I don't know, they mix, they have, boyfriend, girlfriends. There is attraction, there is pressure. So to resist needs patience. And the third is as-sabru ala al-musibah. So as-sabru ala ta'a, as-sabr an al-ma'siyah, as-sabr ala al-musibah. Patience with respect to suffering, calamities, tragedies. It's not a matter of doing wajib or avoiding haram. It's a matter of a tragedy happening to you. You lose your father, your mother, your children, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your friend. You lose your money, you become bankrupt. Or, I don't know, a thief comes and steals everything you have. Your country is attacked, I don't know, your people are killed. People insult you, people take away your rights. Okay. What you are supposed to do can vary in different situations. What response you give can be different. But no matter what is the situation, you need one common quality in all these circumstances, and that is patience. When you are patient, then you know how to respond. If you lose your patience, then you may not do the right thing. You may even do bad things. You may even make the problem worse. Okay? So for example, if, God forbid, someone becomes orphan. Okay, this is a problem. If you are patient, then you manage to maintain your control and find what is the best thing to do now that I am orphan. But if you are not patient, you suffer and you don't gain anything. You know, whether we are patient or not, we cannot bring our father back. We cannot bring our mother back. My child has died. Whether I'm patient or not, I cannot bring him back. But if I'm patient, then I understand how to respond to this problem and also how to gain lots of reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah's reward for the patient is without measure. إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah is always generous in His reward. He multiplies reward. But when it comes to sabirun, He doesn't say, I multiply. He says, without measure. In the discussion we had in the course on Islamic belief system, you remember we mentioned about reward for suffering. Remember we mentioned many hadiths, especially from the book Musakkinul Fu'ad and the Ahibbati wal Awlad, Heart Comforter. We mentioned hadiths that how much Allah rewards the people who suffer. For example, hadith says, if you are alive, one child of you dies. Okay? There was accident, the child died. Or he became ill, died. This is better for you in reward than 70 children of you fight as mujahid with Imam Zaman after you die. Do you understand? One child dies by accident. You didn't do anything. Still, the reward that you get because of this suffering and pain is more than training and leaving behind 70 mujahid, but who die after you. So you don't have the pain of losing them. You know, the great pain that you lose your child. Do you see the difference? It's like, for example, if I give 1 pound sadaqah, is much better than putting in my will after I die, give 1,000 pounds sadaqah. Yeah? Because when I am alive and I give this, part of me is being taken. Yeah. You remember yesterday we said how we should detach ourselves from dunya. And this is how sadaqah can purify us. It's painful. And this is why I always say to people, we should try to give sadaqah as much as it's difficult. You know, for people can be different, but it should be something that you feel. You know, if I have, you know, tens of thousands of pounds and I say give 10 pounds, I don't feel anything. So this is not working. It works when there is pain. When there is, you know, you feel that, oh, something is being taken. Okay? So if I have, you know, for example, I don't know, a big pool of water, and someone, you know, says, give me a cup of water, I don't feel anything. But if I have, you know, 10 cups of water and give one of them, that's important. So, the same with sadaqah is suffering. Okay? You feel the pain of losing one child. When you are alive, you lose. The impact, the reward is more than 70 children who are mujahid and die after it. Okay, so this is about patience. Inshallah, we continue after, inshallah, lunch. Thank you for being patient. وآخر دعوانا